Do you know what the single biggest predictor of divorce is? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm Leslie Dories, your marriage coach, the creator of the Hero Husband Project, and owner of Foundations Coaching. And the greatest predictor of divorce is contempt. Now, contempt is one of John Gottman's 4 styles of communication. And it's really destructive. It's really worse than criticism or defensiveness or stonewalling or the other 3 that he's got, because it's intended to be mean and hurtful. Its purpose is to make your partner feel bad. And this is why it is so damaging. Now, contempt is things like insults in name calling, calling your partner stupid or lazy or even too sensitive or crazy. There's a good one. Or what frequently a lot of men get, incompetent. It's also hostile humor, sarcasm, mockery, right? So making fun of your partner for something that they do or how they look. And contempt can also be the body language and your tone of voice, the eye rolling, the sighing, the sneering, the scoffing, right? These are all forms of contempt. And, it, this, and I have to admit, I've been guilty of this back in the early days of my marriage, when people would ask me when I was going to have another child. I mean, when I was going to have a child, I would just jokingly say, "Oh, you mean another one?" implying that my husband was a child. Well, my husband has never been a child. The entire time we have been married, he has been extraordinarily responsible and capable, and he's been an equal partner. He's been an equal parent. There is nothing childish about my husband, except maybe his fart jokes. Okay, so I'm going to give you that. But and a lot of men get this. It's very, very popular in common culture to have the husbands in sitcoms be completely incompetent and have to be bailed out by their wives. And in fact, um, I was just recently reading an article about this woman who got very big on TikTok because she would impersonate her husband's incapabilities, and she had lots of followers. And she just recently announced that the marriage is ending. They're separating. And when I read that, and the thing is, he was actually the one recording the videos. This is how insidious the mockery and the teasing and the putting down of your partner can be. We think it's funny, and most people, if they say something about it, are going to be told, just you're just being too sensitive. I'm just having fun. Except it's like the death of 1,000 cuts to your relationship. Because the truth of the matter is, if you are showing contempt, you are not showing love. If you're showing contempt, you're not showing respect. If you're showing contempt, you're not showing kindness and generosity and empathy and compassion and all of those things that are necessary for a healthy, lasting relationship. Now, I get it, right? Um, I probably would be lost without sarcasm, but we need to be careful. You need to be careful how and where you aim it, right? If a lot of times when I'm working with my clients, when I'm making videos, when I'm writing my blog posts, I will throw myself under the bus because I can handle it. I'm the one in charge. I'm the one who knows what's going on inside of my own head, what's true. And just like this husband who was making the videos that were making fun of him, it's what would have happened if he had said, no, I don't want to do this. This makes me look bad, right? Because it's part of our culture, the incompetent, incapable husband. And I want you to flip that. I want you to flip. How do you think you would feel if that's the way women were portrayed? And for a while, if you go back to way back into I Love Lucy, she sort of was portrayed that way. And sure, it's funny until it's you. And especially if you don't have anything counterbalancing that contempt. Contempt becomes a habit. And when we have this belief that our partner is fat or ugly or stupid or lazy or incompetent or whatever, and we verbalize it, then we're going to keep doing it, right? And if we're not open to looking at your own behavior, then your marriage will, I mean, John Gottman, who is the marriage guru, if he found contempt, he would watch couples for like 15 minutes and watch how they interacted with each other. And if there was contempt present, he could predict with almost 100% certainty that that couple was going to end up divorced. And guess what? The contempt doesn't end with the divorce. If you share children and you treat their other parent that way, that's not really very healthy for your kids either. So while contempt is easy, and there may actually be underlying reasons for why you view your partner that way, a better way, instead of beating them down, is to find a way to actually solve the problem, right? Be able to say to your partner, hey, we need to sit down and we need to talk about how we're going to split up the household chores or how we're going to split up parenting or how we're going to do whatever we're going to do. Not just act as if you're the only capable person and, and they'd be lost without you. And by the way, if that's actually true, then the question that I have, and I know this is going to piss you off, and I'm sorry about that, is why did you marry this person? Okay? Because you chose your partner. And, so whatever's going on in your household, you have some ownership in that. And the way to fix it is not to beat up your partner, say nasty things, put them down. That's generally not going to win you points. And, it's not going to win you friends and influence people, right? It's not a good way to be. And, and people go, well, they're like that. Well, yes, that may be true, but there are other ways of getting things to be made better. And if you want to do that, that's what I do. This is, I help people. So depending on whether or not you're on the receiving end of the contempt or whether you're on the delivery end of contempt, my recommendation to you is stop it right now, today. Pay attention, catch yourself, okay? Because it's destructive. And by the way, it actually isn't good for you either. Forget what's going on. Being that way is not a great way to be in the world. So if you want some help with this, then I'm happy to help you get out of any of these, of the John Gottman's 4 horsemen of the communication apocalypse, these communication styles. If you want to talk with me, you can reach me at area code 919-924-0463, or you can send me an email at Lesli, Lesli, at foundationscoachingnc.com, or you can put a message down in the comment section or send me a direct message. But the one thing I want you to take away is, unless you eliminate contempt from your marriage, you're going to be eliminating your marriage. So hopefully that is food for thought. And until next week, stay loving.